Today we have a family living in their car. They were a small child and they're living in their car, and they called Operation One Wishes because the organization that was going to help them, they're out of town, so they were referred to us, and we provided motel shelter for them. Get their EBT cards or their SNAP benefit cards or anything, they get it stolen from them. So I sympathize with them, because when you're living in a home encampment and someone takes your stuff or beats you or robs you, it happens, and it's just hard situation. And then when there's families who are living in their cars and kids who are living in their car, I just can imagine like having to wake up in the middle of the night, because I know I have to wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom, and you look at your cell phone, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Imagine being a child, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, having to say, Dad, or Mom, I have to use the restroom. Or you're afraid to tell your mom or dad that you have to use the restroom because you're too scared. Mm-hmm. It's just, everything is so crazy right now, more than ever. But the thing is, there's so much, it's just that every day I'm receiving a phone call from a family who are in need, who are living in their car. And it's not fair to the kids. It's not fair to the kids. It's not fair to the kids, Corey, that we have kids living in their car. Christmas is coming up, and why do we have kids living in their cars? Why do we have kids living in their car on Christmas? Only time a kid should be sleeping in his car on Christmas is when they're driving to grandma or grandpa's house, or they're driving somewhere and they pull over, they fall asleep. But they just assume that Operation One Wish should have it together. They just assume that we're doing okay. And we're a great organization, but it costs money to do what we do. We have a lot of people always want to volunteer at OWW, but we need the funds. Operation One Wishes, we need the help of the people. We need the donations. We had a fundraiser, we raised some money, but that money is almost gone because we've been helping so many people. Now there's 5 families right now who are calling and depending on Operation One Wishes to help them. And I do not want them living in their cars during the Christmas time. I want to at least get them through the holiday season in a motel. I don't want a kid living in his car during the Christmas holiday season. So if we can raise $10,000 to help these families, help these youth, help these homeless individuals, and that's my mission. That's what I want to do. I want to raise $10,000. I need it right away before Christmas Day. We need the money. People are struggling. People are hurting. People are going through it. We're a 501c3. We're a nonprofit organization. And every day we're serving and making a difference. And it's hard. We need it now because, no child. I remember when I was homeless, when I was in high school, we were homeless for a couple of years. And I just remember my mom and my stepfather's burdens became my burdens. I remember their frustration became my frustration. Here I am, a teenager in high school, going through my teenager things, having to have a burden of how we're going to pay the hotel bill, or how this is going to happen, how is that going to happen. And it was so frustrating. And every 28 days having to pack up and move to a different motel. And it was frustrating. It was hard. Having to eat cup of noodles all the time, because that's all we had with the microwave. And I didn't understand why I had to go through what I had to go through during that time, but now I understand it now, why I have to experience what I have to experience, because I see that our youth are going through it. We have families who are going weeks without electricity bill because they can't pay, weeks without electricity because they didn't pay their electricity bill. We have families who's and these students are having behaviors in class, and it's like, no wonder they're having behaviors. They have no electricity at home. You know, the food is spoiled. They're wearing the same dirty clothes. They have to, it's dark at night. Why are we living like this? Why is this happening? Do I blame the parents? Yes, I blame the parents. Some parents are at fault because, you know, they allow this to happen. Not all parents are at fault, but some parents are at fault because why are you allowing this to happen? Your kid is going through this situation. I'm keeping it real. It's frustrating, Corey. It's frustrating because I am trying to prevent homelessness from happening. But these families, they're too caught up in, these parents are too caught up in their own stuff and not focusing on their children, not focusing on their home life. They're focusing on other things, which they lose sight of focus, which allows them to be behind on bills, not pay their rent on time, not, you know, be like, I'm serious. How do you lose your housing? I have so many families tell me, I lost my housing, I lost this. I am frustrated because, you know what? Yeah, I'm empathetic, I'm sympathetic, I'm all that stuff. I care. And people say, I don't care, I care, because I work every single day making sure people are housed. I make it work. I hustle for the people. I hustle for the people. No one's out there hustling I hustle for the people. Not for TyRon, but for the people, to make sure families are fed, families are clothed, and families are housed. I do this every single day. I rise and thrive for people every single day. I receive the phone calls from social workers and from police officers and from principals and from people. Hey, TJ, we have this family. They need this. Hey, TJ, and I make it happen. I make it work. I go without for people can have. And people don't know that. They don't see that. And I try to be as transparent as possible to let them know that I am helping them. And I'm not just putting a Band-Aid over the situation. I'm actually trying to clean the wound, heal the infection, make things better. You know, I don't believe just giving people housing to make the situation better. I don't believe that. I believe that we need to do more, educate. And I try to do that every single day. But I know if you are a child and your home life is sucky and there's bad things and you have no electricity and there's no food and you're worrying if you're going to have get evicted or not, that takes a toll on a child. If you don't know where you're going to live, if you don't know where you're going to eat, if you don't know, yeah, you're gonna be a part of something that's gonna, protect you and help you. And they say that, but it doesn't really happen. But it happens. Half of the people we see on the street who are homeless because of someone else's mistake, not their own. If you're hungry and you're seeing your mom or your dad making dumb mistakes, and then you get it, you have to reap the benefits of your parents' mistakes. Yeah, you're gonna take some fentanyl. Yeah, you're gonna smoke meth. Start with weed, then meth, and everything else. I know. I've never done drugs before, but I've seen the cycle. How people are going, or people who are just lied on or discriminated. It's frustrating. It's a whole frustrating situation. But at the end of the day, I want to raise money for these five families who are living in their cars. I want to put them in a motel. I don't want them to have to experience Christmas living in a car. That's my goal. And I'm going to do it. So go to OperationWarmWishes.com, click on the donate button, donate. Go to Venmo, donate. That's how it's going to happen. I need to house these families, and it's frustrating. I'm being real. I'm keeping it real, keeping it transparent. We're doing more than just putting families in motels. We're actually helping them get to the next level. We're providing food every day. We're providing clothing every day. We're providing hope every day. We're helping people make a difference in their own lives. And we have our big Christmas event coming up on Christmas morning, where we're providing free laundry services, a pancake breakfast, and a toy giveaway. But we're helping people every day.